If you knew morning wood, then you know why I feel blue. Without morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, ooh, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Oh, how my heart yearns for you. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, ooh, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Pretty, 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 pretty morning wood. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, ooh, and I need you, morning wood. I love you, morning wood, with a love so rare and true. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Well, I love you, ooh, I want you, morning wood.
Happy Devil's Sunday. This is the Morning Woo. Rise and shine on this June 28th, 2026 at 10:41 a.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Sam Woo, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you live from the bunker on this beautiful Sunday. A little muggy. It's supposed to get really hot here in New Jersey midweek. Getting up to 103 degrees, I saw. 100 degrees. It's going to be a heat wave as we barrel towards free agent frenzy July 1st on Canada Day. The birth of nations, where July 4th this year is on a Saturday. There could be some major trades. There could be some creativity down the stretch. Hello, Steve Engel. In the YouTube Live, AJ Visco, the law offices of AJ Visco. Feels like an eternity. Get to tune in to Morning Woo Live. Yeah, we went back on air yesterday. It's going to be more of a weekend thing. Again, it's all about scheduling for me. Took some time off, a little bit extended. Family time, spending a lot of family time recently. Refreshed, talking Devils hockey. Devils, I kind of want to know what your thoughts are about the Devils draft. How Sonny Maida did. I mean, there's been mixed reviews. We talked about that yesterday. About Alexander Command. Very manly name. There are some others that he drafted. Mike Rossi says it's going to be 115 in Raleigh this week. It's going to be brutal. You better have your AC working. Your air conditioning. Compressed air. Feels good. It's going to be hot. It's going to be really hot. And down the stretch, it's going to be, well, let's just put it this way. The hot stove is really hot right now around the NHL. But let's talk about this draft. Now, some of the names, again, the theme was very analytics based for Sonny Maida. That is to be expected. That's his forte. That's his bread and butter. That's why the New Jersey Devils hired Sonny Maida. I would like to say it's a good fit between ownership, the fans, and the Devils. I think Sonny Maida was the right guy for the job. I'm not saying that he's going to be successful. I'm just saying it just fits the bill so far. So, looking through this draft, and I forgot to text Dubzilla that we're on air. See, this is what I do for you fans. He can't get the alerts for whatever reason, so I just text him the link. Anyway, Steve Engel says a lot of these are fits as scouts. Don't think Sonny has his people here yet, and that's a great point. But at the same time, it's not like Sonny came to the New Jersey Devils blind, because that's where he got really a significant. His start was with the New Jersey Devils, so it's not like he didn't know the personnel at all, and he was just coming in cold to this draft. But one name, and a lot of the analysts are saying, this could be the sleeper pick of the draft. And historically speaking, the New Jersey Devils have done well in the second round. Patrick Elias as one second rounder that the Devils have picked. And, they've had the Nathan Bastions of the world and whatnot. But, the second round's been very, very good to the New Jersey Devils. Although the jury's out on Seamus Casey, it's too early, but he was picked in the second round. Lenny Amenaho. Lenny Amenaho. Yeah, he's looking to be pretty good. Second round pick. But they got the Van Halen guy. And I keep on forgetting how to pronounce his name. Matthias Van Hanen, left winger, got a really nice snapshot. Got a really nice wrister. And I've seen the negativities on this kid. Some saying, well, he was born on, he's a September baby, wasn't drafted last draft, but now he's a year older, so that's why he dominated juniors, yada yada. That's just nonsense. It's not like in college football where you've got somebody like Gabriel Dillon that because of COVID, had 7 years of eligibility. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. But Chris Ladd is saying that this is amazing. So happy the Morning Woo is back, Chris Ladd. Yeah, right now it's just for the weekends. Still trying to figure out my schedule. My schedule is very, very, my work schedule is very intense now. So I try to fit it in whenever I can. But yeah, so anyway. But Nintendo Wii says if Matthias Van Hanen doesn't get his name to Eddie, I will be disappointed. Well, I got something for you. I mean, I was just imagining the marketing of this. Van Halen, they had the song Running with the Devil, which has been playing for years with the New Jersey Devils. And, by the way, our YouTube listeners, let me know if you're having any stream issues, because I'm getting error messages from YouTube, but my studio says it's okay. So let me know as we're on live air right now. Anyway, I was really thinking that, I can imagine Adam Hanway, the PA announcer, announcing Matthias Van Hanen in introduction when he comes out starting lineups, or when he does his when he makes his NHL debut, he does his lap. I think he should come out to that song, Van Halen song, Pound Cake. Just like that. At left wing, number 37, Matthias Van Hanen. And he comes out, the crowd's roaring. Everybody knows he's going to be an offensive juggernaut, a playmaker. Devils getting him in the second round. But yeah, Nintendo Wii says, did you watch any footage of Alex Command? I think you may like what you see. I love the endless motor. I love the toughness. I love the beefalytics on Alexander Command, to be honest with you. I'm all about the beefalytics. And apparently the analytics support that. The analytics, he's an analytics darling, Alexander Command, apparently. I'm not an analytics guy, but I love reading that he's got the endless motor. He's going to fight for everything he has. If you watched the interview yesterday, there was a question posed by NJ.com about, did you know that the Devils were in on you? It came to him as a surprise. All the scouts had Alexander Command down in the lower part of the first round. But that tells you Sonny Maeda keeps his choices close to the vest. I love that I heard that answer coming from Alexander Command. He wasn't expecting it. None of us were expecting it. There has been criticism that from Nick Villano and amongst others that Sonny Maeda took him too early, but he wouldn't have been available had Sonny Maeda waited to the second round. So again, this is all, we really simply don't know how this is going to turn out. But if you're going to get your guy, you're going to do what it takes to get your guy. Screw what the pundits say. But if Alexander Command at center, when he comes to the NHL in a couple years, can play that third line center position, and he's got an endless motor, and he's physical, and he's tenacious, and wants to win, that center depth with Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, and Alexander Command, if he is what Sonny Maeda thinks he could be absolutely potent. We've been talking for years about Devils needing a third line center. I thought maybe Logan Cooley could have been that choice. But the Devils, Tom Fitzgerald, then GM, took a different direction, getting Shimon Nemitz. Steve Engel says, Maeda mentioned about 3 times the July 1st date. So I think there is something or a couple things coming on Wednesday. I would agree. Nintendo Wii says, I saw several Caps, Flyers, and Blues wanted Command later in the draft. I think Sonny knows something we don't. And I would give Sonny Maeda the benefit of the doubt. To be honest with you, this is his first draft. Look, nobody really knows, and they always do these redrafts. A lot of these pundits, they always do these redrafts, and you find something interesting in all these redrafts. And what I find is 70% of the times, everybody got it wrong. Hindsight's 20/20. It's like playing Monday morning quarterback. But regardless, it addresses a need in the future. And maybe Alexander Command is the guy, but by listening to his interviews and if you saw the emotion in his face and his family when he got drafted by the New Jersey Devils, tears coming out of their eyes, I love that emotion. I like that in a player. Somebody actually cares and gives a crap. And you can tell his journey Alexander Command to the NHL, he worked his ass off. Those are tears of somebody that worked their ass off to fulfill a dream, a childhood dream of playing in the NHL one day. And Alexander Command got one step further to that dream. But again, it won't be for a couple of years till we get to see what kind of player he could be. But all signs saying that, from what I could tell, if anything, and Nick Villano could be right about it, and he may be right about it, that you shouldn't waste your draft capital on someone like Alexander Command that could have been chosen, but you would have to make a trade and probably in the later rounds to get him. But you got your guy. That's the end of it. And again, Van Hanen, I think he's going to be a special player as well. I honestly think, just watching some of the film, he could be very dangerous in the slot area if he gets room to operate. Dave Singer says, hello, Dave Singer. Childhood dream, he's still a child. That's true. That is true. Wimpy says, Woo is in command. Dave Singer says, command was the best combo of skill and need. But I think there's more to come with the New Jersey Devils. And, and there's been controversy on Twitter. I've been taking the heat. I've actually been taking the heat on this whole Quinn Hughes saga, which Wild owner Craig Leopold, basically put it out there that this is pretty much a done deal. It's just a matter of how long. And I tweeted this out there a few days ago, calling Bravo Sierra, basically initials BS, Bravo Sierra, little phonetic alphabet, on Craig Leopold, because I honestly think that was a negotiation tactic, that he was just trying to let Quinn Hughes know and kind of force him in a corner. And I tweeted this 3 days ago after Mike Russo, highly respected journalist, said Quinn is resigning here, I'd bet. But I put out, quote, I'll believe it when I see it. Owner is pressuring Quinn into a deal publicly that is best for the Wild, comma, not for Quinn. Just a negotiation tactic and desperate attempt. And that's how I feel. Now, did anybody see what Bill Guerin said yesterday? And you really have to watch the video because he did a little bit of a smirk in the end. The Bill Guerin smirk that he, if you remember, he always did as a player. At the end of a sentence, he had that little smirk on his face. Did anybody see that clip? I'll play it right now. Bill Guerin. Let me just cue it up here. Make sure everything is ready for you. But I'm going to cue this clip and you tell me what you think. Because there are two, I don't know if you're reading it, I'm reading it wrong, or other fans are reading it wrong. Minnesota fans say that smirk means the deal is done and he's not telling you anything. But let's listen to this Bill Guerin clip yesterday when he was asked about, have you been in touch with Quinn Hughes' agent? Bill Guerin.
Yeah. I mean, very, very preliminary, just talking. Like, there's nothing that you guys would be real interested in.
Nothing you'd be real interested in with a smirk in the end. There are some people that say, and Minnesota Wild fans and a couple Devils fans say that the deal's done. That's what that smirk was about. I'm not telling you anything. It's for me to know and you to find out later. But let me play that again. Bill Guerin.
Yeah. I mean, very, very preliminary, just talking. Like, there's nothing that you guys would be real interested in.
Do you know what that tells me? This is my opinion. I go against I respectfully disagree with those that think that this deal is done. I think the owner, Craig Leopold, overplayed his hand when he publicly announced what's going on inside this negotiation with Quinn Hughes. However, things don't add up when Bill Guerin puts that out there. You can't have it both ways. Somebody is misleading. I'm close to saying almost lying. Was Craig Leopold trying to do that negotiation tactic, that's how I read it. Most read it, most in the hockey media read it. Oh, it's a done deal. Who do you believe? We have not heard from Quinn Hughes, obviously, and we probably won't. But Quinn Hughes has all the leverage here. And I said, I'll say it again, and I've been bashed for it online, but Sonny Maeda has all the leverage here, because if Quinn Hughes really wants to play with his brothers, all he has to do is, at the very least, wait a year. At the most, wait a year. Become an unrestricted free agent, and the team you're going to doesn't have to give up assets. That's just 1 year. But right now, Minnesota's saying, oh, we want him long term, but it's Quinn that wants to be here 3 years, 4 years. I actually don't believe it. And I don't believe this whole 3 or 4 year notion, because it makes no sense whatsoever. So you're going to, if you truly want to play with Luke and Jack, which Jack has 4 more years, Luke has 6 years or more. You actually think that Quinn Hughes is going to actually wait 3 years, or actually make it 4, because right now he's got 1 more year on his contract. And then, they're going to conspire 4 years from now that they could go anywhere they want, and then and leave Luke behind. Well, you're not playing with all 3 brothers. It makes no sense whatsoever if that's the case. And that's a big if. And I'm calling Bravo Sierra on all this. I think the owner was out of line by speaking publicly. He should have kept his mouth shut during negotiation. I kind of believe Bill Guerin here, that they're very preliminary. And basically, his owner put him in a bad spot. So that's what the smirk is. That's my opinion. I'll stick to it. You don't have to believe me. And I think this thing is going to blow up in their faces. But I could be damn wrong as well. And we're going to have to see how this play out. Anything can change at any moment. But if I were Quinn Hughes, I'd be like, why is the owner chirping to the media about this negotiation? 3 years? So I'm going to wait 4 years to play with Jack? And then what? Wait it out? Force a trade for Luke so we can all play together on one team? Makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. In my opinion, I think, as Quinn Hughes is relaxing at the Jersey Shore, and Bill Guerin, former New Jersey Devils, going into his Ocean County beach home, his summer home, to kind of schmooze him over to Minnesota, the more time that passes after July 1st, the more leverage Sonny Maeda would have if Sonny wants to make a deal. And if it were up to me, if I was Sonny Maeda, I'd be watching this whole thing go down. But right now, Minnesota, if they can't get a deal with Quinn Hughes, he could be a rental, but then they're gonna lose they gave up a lot for the year and a half of Quinn Hughes. But anything can happen, and I really don't think they're that close, because I just don't think, team wise, they're probably Quinn Hughes is a good fit for Minnesota. I'm not going to dispute that, but family's family. And he's going to talk it over, Jack, Mom, Dad, Luke, what he wants to do. And the Devils have already cleared up that spot by trading Shimon Nemitz. Mike Rossi says Nemo wasn't proven, so Maeda got what he could for Nemo. Plus, it's not like we could add on extra players because Fitz added no movement clause and no trade clause to basically everyone. Jason, the decor's a mess. They have no puck moving. That's not true. Luke can move the puck, but I'm telling you, if you bring Quinn Hughes to New Jersey, believe me, Luke Hughes is going to be a much better player. And he was a much better player after the Olympic break. You got to give Luke Hughes that. He was a much better player, and I think he has, if he comes into training camp on time and Luke Hughes is healthy, we're going to see a different Luke Hughes for the 2026-27 NHL season for the New Jersey Devils. Pete says Quinn is getting Fitz-like treatment right now in Minnesota. In my opinion, he's out. Just don't think we'll know where till mid-July. And I kind of agree with you there, Pete, but anything can change at any given moment. But I was really surprised that Craig Leopold would actually make a statement like that, like he was so cocky and confident. But I can kind of read through it that was just a tactic. Because the Minnesota fan base have been so adamant that Quinn will stay. But I hate to be the messenger of the bad news to Minnesota Wild fans. And I've been getting the brunt of their rebuttals, but Minnesota's not all cracked up to it's a nice state, don't get me wrong, but when you're in New Jersey, you get the benefits of not having the New York media really spotlighting you, and where you don't have a private life. You can go under the radar as a New Jersey Devil and have the city life and even the rural life and get paid for it. There's a lot to be said about being a New Jersey Devil. But we shall see. I mean, this is going to play out all next week. The temperature is going to be high outside with the weather, but all the NHL rumors and the rumor mill and what's going to happen, that's going to be heating up. And we'll have it covered here on the Let's Go Devils podcast, how this is all going to turn out. July 1st is Wednesday. And it's going to be a dandy. It's going to be absolutely incredible which teams are going where. Somebody proposed that, it'd be a three-way trade. Let Columbus send Werenski to Minnesota. Devils get Hughes and package a deal with Columbus. I kind of like that idea. It just needs to be more thought out. But let's see where the New Jersey Devils takes this and what Sonny Maeda is going to do. This is his first real big test. He went through the draft. I give the draft probably a B right now, B as in boy, or Bravo. Got to go back to the phonetic alphabet. B as in Bravo, but the revised grade could be an A, depending upon how these prospects turn out. Also, there was a goalie in the that was drafted as well. Does Sonny make a change at the goaltending position? Could you actually move Jacob Markstrom? Could Sonny shake up the team and get rid of some of this salary that goes along with it? So we shall see. Lots to go over. We're going to have the Sunday edition of the Let's Go Devils podcast tonight. Me and Scotty, a SiriusXM Liquid Metal. We'll also, talk about the draft, talk about upcoming, about the New Jersey Devils. Let's see where the Devils, what Sonny Maeda is going to be doing in free agency. There's not that many great free agents out there, but there's going to be a lot of trades. There's going to be a lot of money moving around in the National Hockey League. What happens to Jason Robertson? What happens to a lot of these folks? We've already seen it right now that the Florida Panthers and the Ottawa Senators just trying to get ahead of it with that Brady Tkachuk deal that happened last week. And, could this be big game hunting by Sonny Maeda? Or is he going to make a lot of little deals to put this team together? And this is part of the process. We shall see. All right. Going to get out of here. Going to do a ceremonial sip. Great to be back. Great to be back here on the Morning Woo. But again, it's more of a weekend thing at this point. But you'll see some things that I'll be putting together throughout the summer as we gear up for the 2026-27 season, which starts a little bit earlier now that there's 84 games. And, we'll be back mid-September. Can't wait for the NHL schedule to come out because we'll have to go over that in a couple weeks, how that's going to turn out. But let's do the ceremonial sip. Great draft by Sonny Maeda. I give him a B. B as in Bravo. And also another B, Billy Guerin. Should be very interesting to see how this plays out in the next few days. And don't get you overconfident, Minnesota Wild fans. I know you're wild about your team. I think there's going to be a couple surprises coming down the line. I drink to that. That felt good. All right. Heading out of here. Great to see you all dropping the podcast. About 20 minutes. Enjoy the weather for today because it's going to get steamy hot towards the end of the week. Thank you to all those tuning in. Thank you to everybody. You guys make my day. And, this is the Morning Woo. Till next time, let's go Devils.
Oh, how my heart yearns for you. Oh, morning, my morning woo. Oh, well, I love